How does universe line things up? And is there a predetermined course? How does the lining things up work when everyone has free will?
Oh, I think you're really going to enjoy this, because the lining up is so huge and there are so many options that it would be like you being a child or an adult and saying to someone, I'm hungry, and 5,000 complete meals appearing before you instantaneously. In other words, that sort of gives you some sense of relationship to how fast it is and how many options there are. Another way we like to say it is when you ask for something, say you're asking for a relationship, immediately at least 100 avenues to lead you directly to what your heart's desire would feel satisfied having are before you instantly. At least 100 options. If you're tuned up, if you're in alignment with what you want, then it's there, it's there, it's there, it's there, it's there, it's there, it's there. It's about vibrational alignment. So the universe is not ever feeling impatience on your behalf or boredom. In other words, because every time you launch a preference, the universe has gone to work on fulfilling your preference and has taken great satisfaction in doing so. In other words, all of your future worlds have been envisioned and enjoyed by all that is non-physical. That's why it's in escrow, ready for you to let it into your experience. Wayne Dyer's book says, you will see it when you believe it. And we say to you, test the heck out of it. In other words, make yourself believe it. Show yourself. Think thoughts and watch them manifest. Think other thoughts. In other words, notice the correlation between what you think and feel and what happens. It's accurate every single time. Adjust the way you feel, watch what happens. It's accurate every single time. When you realize that you're tapped into the abundance of dollars or to the abundance of abundance, then you don't have to worry about shortage because it flows in as fast as it flows out. And when you take things like dollars and time out of the equation, then you begin to take shortage out of the equation. Then you begin to take limitation out of the equation. Then you begin to expect somehow, some way, whatever you want to manifest. And that's when the distance between your dream and the realization of it becomes infinitesimal. And that's when you say, well, it's like magic. And we say, it isn't magic. It's normal. And you're not wanting to have all of your orgasms now. You're not wanting to have all of the delicious experience of life now. You're wanting a steady stream of it flowing into your experience. And so those things that are orbiting around, that's like circling the city looking for a place to eat and feeling frustrated about all the places you're not eating. You don't do that. You just stop and eat someplace. And the same thing is true of all of these desires. You don't have time to contemplate them all at once or to experience them all at once. In other words, whatever you're doing, if what you are doing feels good while you're doing it, then what possible difference does it make about all of the things you're not doing? See, and once you sort of get that, once you start savoring whatever's happening now and no longer are worrying about the things that you're not able to do now, then you get it. Sometimes we know if you're doing something you don't want to do, and then you say, well, I'd rather do that. That's where that thinking comes from. But when you've trained yourself to make the best of whatever it is that you are doing, then that gap closes. And then you just go from this fun thing to this fun thing to this satisfying thing to this interesting thing to this provocative thing to this good feeling to this good tasting to this good feeling to this good tasting to this interesting thing. You just move from subject to subject feeling good all the time. And somebody watching you would say, my goodness, how is it that you have such a broad spectrum of life? And you say, well, I just dabble in all of the good stuff of life. And in time, you will not be able to remember ever doing something that you didn't really enjoy doing. And I reach for what feels good, and I can feel when I'm on my path. And when it doesn't feel so good, I veer to where it feels better. And when it doesn't feel so good, I veer toward where it feels better. In other words, I just keep reaching for the thoughts and ideas that feel good. And when I find one that feels good, I just milk it. I tell everyone about it. I roll it over and over and over in my mind until I achieve enough vibrational harmony with it that law of attraction brings me other thoughts like it. Without the contrast, you could not come to new expansive conclusions. Of course you're going to explore it, and of course you're going to see what you don't want, and of course it's valid for you to vividly see what you don't want. But in the moment that you're seeing what you don't want, you are rocketing a desire about what you do want, and everything that isn't physical you, the whole non-physical universe, source, that which you call God, your inner being, your soul, we can't find enough words to describe the whole of you that is now fixated on your new improved idea. Everything is over here in this vibrational reality. So now, been hearing about law of attraction. Law of attraction says that which is likened to itself is drawn. So you sent another rocket of desire over there, added to your vibrational reality, and law of attraction is responding to this vibrational reality in a new, more powerful, more vivid way than ever. And what that means is this vortex of creation, because of law of attraction's attention to it, is now bringing a culminating, a drawing together, an attraction, a magnetic attraction of all things necessary for the completion of your creation is not just underway, it's done. Everything's been amassed. The other people with the perfect attitudes, because the people that didn't match your creation weren't drawn in. Only what works for what you've asked for has been drawn here. Circumstances and events and people and rendezvous have all amassed. It's vivid, it's real. If you could see it, you'd be as delighted for you as we are. Everything that you need for your creation, all of the financial backing already lined up, all of the buildings you'll need already lined up, all of the lovers you're looking for already lined up. Everything's lined up. Everything's not only lined up, everything's assembled. It's not just assembled, it's all right there. It's all right there, ready for you to let yourself see the revelation of it, ready for you to do what? To allow yourself to go. Just relax in the knowledge that it's all being drawn, including you. So allowing is about relaxing and trusting and believing. Allowing is about hoping. If you can get hopeful, when you get into a consistently hopeful attitude about something that you want, now you're within range. And now occasionally you'll slip in and you'll see a piece of it. And the more you see from your hopeful place, then the more you believe. And when you're believing, you're in the vortex. When you're believing, when you're knowing, you are the vortex. When you know it, nothing less than what you want can be. When you know it, you walk, you speak, it happens. You walk, you speak, it happens. People say, how does this happen to you? And you say, because I know my well-being. I know my worthiness. I know with clarity what I want. Life has helped me see it. And I know that I'm worthy. I know my worthiness. I know. But meanwhile, hang around there, out there, and hope. That's fine. Hope's good enough. If you can get to hope on the things that you care about, hope will bring you in enough that you'll start seeing evidence, and then you'll start believing. And once you start believing, then you're in the vortex. Then there's no separation between you and you. Then the manifestation must show itself to you. What we want you to understand is moving toward the vortex is the blissful aspect of life, you see. As you move from an attitude of hoping and trusting, hoping and knowing, hoping and trusting, wanting, hoping, trusting, this vortex that will eternally call you will give you the most delicious, breathtaking, vivid, tactile, visceral, delicious experience of life imaginable. And sure, you'll get in there and you'll revel in the manifestations. You will. It's so great to see something manifest that you've been wanting.